At number 3, Tony Dorigo replaces the injured Stuart Pearce, which means number 7, David Platt, is captain for the first time. At 9 and 10, Ferdinand and the recalled John Barnes replace the injured pair Shearer and Wright. And at number 11, David Batty was drafted in this morning because Paul Ince's young son is unwell. And on the bench tonight, Graham Taylor has Nigel Clough, Paul Merson, Trevor Stephen and Andy Sinton. Now, what about the office workers, postmen, chemists and car mechanics? San Marino have only 2 full-time professionals. Number 8, Marco Mazza, plays in Division 4 of the Italian League. And number 10, Massimo Bernini, who had some splendid years with Juventus, now plays for Bologna in the Italian 2nd Division. The only out-and-out striker is number 9, Nicola Bacciocchi, who scored against Turkey, one of only 2 international goals San Marino have ever registered. But the fellow with the most thankless task tonight is undoubtedly Pierluigi Benedettini, the 31-year-old goalkeeper who runs a coach company and actually drove the team bus to the airport on Monday. And tomorrow afternoon, most of his colleagues expect to be back at work. And it's nice to see Bobby Moore up in the press box working for radio. The best wishes of his many friends in football are with him tonight and in the time to come. And Ferdinand had his way blocked slightly. This is David Platt, and he's in here is Platt. Good save by the keeper and headed back out over the bar by Muccioli for a corner. And Benedettini's first test, he passes in good fashion. Platt cursing his luck, but it was a knock, I think, at the end that made him wrinkle up his face. It's a corner on the far side to England. Gascoigne to take. Oh, and Batty got a touch there, and there was a man on the line behind the goalkeeper.
And that corner does highlight the height of the goalkeeper. Benedettini is very sort of small for a goalkeeper. If David Batty can out-jump him, I should think that encourages all the England players that have got a chance on any quality cross.
Gennari, the number 3, was the player on the line behind the keeper. Corner again. Barnes heads on, man at the far post, and it's there! David Platt, the captain. Well, having just been denied, Platt puts England in front. Corner taken here by Gascoigne, flicked on by Barnes, and Platt jumps and it's in the net. Batty, and outside him is Dixon. And it's Batty again. Little chip across, and Platt jumps again, and the goalkeeper, well, it's been given. It's been given, it was over the line. And Platt, again at the far post, is the scourge of poor Benedettini. But there's a player getting involved there. Number 4, Zanotti, has been involved in a bit of a scuffle as the referee walked back. And David Platt gets the second. A good spot by the linesman, Trevor, if that was over the line. Barnes. Gascoigne making another forward run. He's in the area now. There he is. It's his header on. Needs to do it again. Offside this time. That one won't count from David Platt. Gascoigne takes it. Oh, just dropped wide.
I mean, it favours the left footer. Paul Gascoigne probably said, well, you had to go just earlier in the half, let me have a try. And the goalkeeper just edges to the left, thinking it'll go that side, and then he's wrong-footed, and I'm not sure at all that he would have got there.
And they've actually had a man over there, but Lee Dixon got in between them and plays the long ball. This is Platt. Ferdinand has made strides in the centre. Gascoigne is further over. This is Batty. Still the 2 of them wait. Here comes Ferdinand!
Well, it was an excellent move. Unlucky Les Ferdinand. Timed his run, sprang well, just beyond the near post, and he couldn't quite direct it. As you see, gets in front of the defender very well, gets up there. Thought he'd tucked it into the corner. Should have done, perhaps. But
Adams pulls away. It's played short to Dorigo. Back again to Gascoigne. Ferdinand jumping again, and the goalkeeper scrambled it round.
Keeper did well. They didn't quite get enough power, Les Ferdinand, but he sprung superbly, and that is his strength. And those last two headers would have done him a lot of good.
Platt's in the middle, so is Ferdinand. Dorigo's cross, and Ferdinand, and Platt surely. Oh! And the overhead from Gascoigne. Well, how Platt didn't make that 3-0. In fact, it was Dixon, I think, with the overhead in there. Not Gascoigne, but Platt seemed to be odds-on to put that over the line, and the defender seemed to get in the way here.
Well, he should have scored. A great cross by Tony Dorigo this time. Good unselfish play from Les Ferdinand, and somehow it's gone through David Platt's legs. The defender actually does well not to have an OG there.
You can tell from the expressions on the faces that the crowd expected a lot more than this. There's Ferdinand, and there's Platt, and that's number 3. And that's a relief, really, because England had gone through a very poor spell, and David Platt has completed his first hat-trick for England. 67 minutes as Ferdinand gets a flick on, and Platt steals in, just avoids being brought down, and makes it 3. I haven't heard an England player jeered at Wembley for a long time like John Barnes has been here. Ferdinand's in the middle. Oh, it's come to Gascoigne. Hits the bar. Ferdinand, surely. It bounced away from him a bit. And Dorigo. England's endless corner count increases. Adams is there. This is Palmer. Good save, Benedettini. Got down well.
That was a good save, good strike from Carlton Palmer with his left foot as well. He'd be pleased with that.
And Massimo Bernini really gave that away, the most experienced player. And this is Ferdinand, and Palmer's coming in. 4. Carlton Palmer scores his first goal for England. 79 minutes, and suddenly there's an element of respectability in the score from England's point of view. Bernini, a player of his experience, should never have allowed that ball to get away, but he did. And Ferdinand here, good at crossing, as Graham Taylor says. He's the provider, and Palmer had made the strides and threw himself forward to head it in.
What a good cross that was by Les Ferdinand. Just sat there waiting for Carlton Palmer to head it.
7 minutes to go, and it's 4-0. And there's Adams in the penalty area for England. Checked out and got the cross in, and it's his Arsenal colleague Dixon Platt. David Platt has scored his 4th goal and England's 5th. And it's Tony Adams first off here who does well. In fact, there were 2 Arsenal defenders up there. Adams first off here. Now watch for Lee Dixon joining in as this ball is headed out. Dixon shoots, really, but Platt sticks out a foot. And that is England's highest score under Graham Taylor, 5. This is Adams. And still the crowd boo Barnes. Dixon. Awkward there, and there's the header against the bar, and the groundsman's flag is up, but a goal has been given. Les Ferdinand has got his first goal on his debut. Tony Adams had a good header just before it, which hit the bar. And Ferdinand gets what he wanted. Dixon's cross. Adams, a great leap against the crossbar on the line, and Ferdinand will claim that. Palmer. Dorigo. Batty. Oh, Dorigo's gone again. And the referee takes a look at that and gives a penalty. Manzaroli came in behind him, and a penalty to England, and the penalty taker, they're still protesting San Marino, to no avail. The penalty taker nominated before the game in the England dressing room was the captain, David Platt. So as Manzaroni pushes Dorigo down, Platt has a chance here to equal the best ever individual score by an England player in an international, which is 5. Malcolm MacDonald and 2 players in the distant past share it at the moment. Can Platt make it a personal performance of 5 goals on his first night as captain and make it 7 for England? The crowd are loving this now. At the very end of the 90 minutes. Oh, he saved it! And Ferdinand crosses offside on the far side, Platt. And at the end, where Gary Lineker missed that penalty against Brazil, the hoodoo strikes again. David Platt has his kick saved by the gallant Pierluigi Benedettini, going to his left. Oh, there will have to be some sort of reaction to what's happened to John Barnes here. I don't quite know what to say, Trevor. You don't like to hear a player boo, do you? But somehow or other, his England career has never quite taken off the way that you would have expected.
Well, I think everyone focused on him this evening. Oh, this is his big opportunity to prove his worth. But I think it's been very unfair. I don't like to hear supporters give any player the sort of stick that he's got this evening. Well,
after 65 minutes with the score only 2-0, the whole team might have been booed off. But David Platt has written his name all over his first match as captain. 4 goals, and he missed a penalty. And thanks to that charge in the last 11 minutes when they scored 3 times, England turned a patchy performance into a respectable result and beat San Marino by 6 goals to 0.
Graham, it took time, but eventually the goals started to flow.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's always a problem, isn't it? There was only one team there playing a game of football, and it's very difficult then. And I thought the players showed great character. To come through a period where it's 2-0 and everybody's getting restless, and to stick at it, and the goals eventually come, I thought was very good, and they did well.
Were the expectations too high? The crowd's expectations?
I think at the end, David, the players and myself both knew that irrespective of how we actually performed, people would decide whether we played well or not simply by the amount of goals we scored. Now, I think that we could probably have played, say, 20% less and scored 4 more goals, and everybody would have said we were brilliant. It's up to them whether they think 6 goals is enough. It could have been doubled, but it wasn't.